Hello, and welcome to the second episode of Midnight Maiden. I wanted to do 2 episodes tonight, just to get this little channel started out. For tonight's topic, or topics, we'll be getting into those in a sec because I wanted to say, if you want to see how this channel works, because I'm not going to be giving introductions going forward, go watch the first episode. Yeah. And with that out of the way, for tonight's topic, I have making the best of things and how I calm down through tough times. For making the best of things, I sometimes get faced with rough situations, and it sometimes does get really difficult to try to keep my head up and smile despite me going through a hard time. But I try, and it's weird, but we all do things differently. I try and act, I guess, I don't want to say selfish, but I wouldn't really be selfish. I think of every single thing that I possibly can think of that has been good. I just keep on thinking of the positives. The negatives exist. I recognize that. But when I'm in a bad state, I'm at a point where I can't process those negative emotions very well. So I try to think of the positive and all the lighthearted things, like funny things that make me smile, anything to get me going, keep me going up. And once I'm out of that bad state and I'm in a good mindset to just think and process, I will eventually go back and think of how things were when I was in that bad state. I will think of just what was going through my head. And when I'm in a clear mindset, I can think better, and I can process everything, and I can, if it was a rough situation with someone else, I can try and patch things up if the situation is needed. If the other person is not ready, I will just, at that point, I will just be there to respect their needs. So if they want space, I'll give them space. If they want to talk, I'll talk. But, yeah. I did just kind of jump between the calming down through tough times and making the best of things. That was kind of an umbrella. But making the best of things is good in any situation. It can be good through the sad times, the mad times, the glad times. Through the sad times when you just need that boost to just keep you going, when you're demotivated, like I mentioned in the previous episode, when you're just down because something really bad happened that day. It's good to keep on trying to make the best of things so you can have a positive outlook and just keep on just being happy, because you deserve happiness. Nobody deserves to go through many sad emotions. Sad emotions are needed, but you don't deserve to go through that all the time. You deserve to be happy. And when you're mad, making the best of things could be good, because when you're angry, you're not thinking too well and you might do things you regret. So if you try to do your best to calm down and bring yourself back to that center, what I do to calm down in those times of being mad, again, I'm jumping back and forth, but these are just topics I'm just jumping across. I'm not really trying to stick to one for the whole thing. When I'm mad, I what I do, it might not work for you because, again, everyone is different, and that's okay. But I'm just giving my suggestions because if this helps, then I'm glad. What I do is I will space myself from everyone else. I won't talk to anyone because when I'm in a mad state, I might say things that I regret and I could hurt other people. And then when I'm in a calmer state later, I feel really bad. And then I'm not in a happy state because I feel so terrible for what I did. So I space myself from everyone. At most, I'll tell people, please don't bother me. I'm not happy right now. I need space. And they will respect that. And then what I do is I just do something by myself that requires, like, no interaction with other people. Whether that be playing games, calm games, not games that would make me angry. Like games that have like a state where you can fail. Just games where you can just work towards something, Or just games I'm just really like good at, or games I can play on a basic level just to have something to do, Like, let's see. Those types of games for me would be Sonic, because some of the early games, like some of the games I'm really good at, so I'm not looking for challenges, I'm just looking to play the games. And I'm not looking for games to challenge me. I just want to play games just to distract myself. Because that's the lovely thing about games. There are games that can challenge you, and there are games that can be just played to just be enjoyed. So I play those games to be enjoyed. And there's also music. And the best thing about music is there's music for almost any type of mood and emotion. If you're going through something difficult, for me, if I'm going through something difficult, there are songs that I would listen to about that difficult time where, like, that's about those topics. Like, if hypothetically I was going through some like rough grieving process, for example, there are songs about losing loved ones. And if I'm angry because of something going on with another person in my life right now that I don't want to talk about, because we're not here to talk about that. We're here to try and stay positive. If I want to listen to some music that's about like people not being very kind to you, and you just want to like cut them out of your life, then I have music like that. It's a bit intense, but I have music like that. I have music for a lot of things. If I'm sad, then music helps me out with that too. What I do is, when I'm sad, I'm going off the mad thing because I've gone off that, but I guess I can also say that once I'm finally through with doing something like that just doesn't really require too much attention on my part, like watching YouTube, any type of content, listening to music, playing a calming game, then I'll wait till I'm finally in the clear head, and then I will go back and try and fix things if things need to be fixed. Or I'll just talk if I want to talk about it with other people, if needed. But that's just how I go through things. And if I'm sad, then I will, because sometimes I do get times where I become just down for almost no reason. I will usually just spend time by myself. When it comes to dealing with negative emotions, I prefer to space myself away, so I can process them by myself and escape to some things. What I'll do for when I'm sad is the same thing. Listen to music, where I can just listen to music about the things that I'm going through. Because personally, it helps to know that if a song was to be written, then there were other people going through the same thing. So I'm not entirely alone. And yeah, I'll just listen to music. I'll admittedly I'll be like I'll be laying in my bed listening to music on like full blast on my earphones or earbuds, and just like singing along to the lyrics, or at least humming along, whatever, melding along to the lyrics, anything. Just in the zone, just in my own world. I will also just listen to like just any type of like audio. And so something like this, kinda, I guess. But I haven't found something like this, so I'm making this for myself in a way too. I will also just do anything to distract myself, get myself out of the mindset. And usually that doesn't pass until the next day. Because nighttime is usually when things like this happen. And I don't know. But once it's all over, usually with my sad emotions, I don't look back on them and think on them too much, because with my sad emotions, I don't know, it's different. But with my sad emotions, once those are past, when I'm back in a good mood, I'll just think on them and just think. And sometimes I'll even think, man, I was so silly for thinking something like that. It's because sometimes I'll overthink and think silly things, you know? Like, being a bit open here, but sometimes I'll think, am I being a bother to people? Something like that. And then the next day I'll think, nah. If I was being a bother to people, they wouldn't talk to me. But they're my friends. So they do want to talk to me, because they wanted to hear what I have to say. And that's the best thing about having friends. They're not there to listen to you because you have an interest that they share. Well, that may be how you met. They're there to listen to you because it's you they're listening to. And that's the beautiful thing. And it's amazing, just having friends. Yeah. I am so grateful for the friends I've made. It's amazing. And going back to the whole thing with like being a bother, I will take this time to say, if you're thinking that you're ever like being a bother to people, you're not. Pardon me, I'm sorry. You're not. You are just being passionate. If you're talking about something you love, and you think you're being a bother because you keep talking about the thing you love, you're not. Not at all. That's called passion, and that's beautiful. That means you have something that you truly do love. That you love talking about, that you love creating. Keep doing it. Keep creating. Don't give up on it. Please. Don't give up on it because you think that it's not worth it, because you think that you're just being a bother. You're not. It's okay. And if people do think you're being a bother, unfortunately, they would politely tell you. They might say, they would be open about it. They wouldn't. I don't know. I'm not a professional when it comes to talking about this stuff, but I just want to give my own words to things. Yeah. I don't know. In any case, you're not a bother at all. So just, if you're talking about something you're passionate about, keep talking about it. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep being you, because the best people in your life will love you because you're you. So don't change yourself to fit in the image of people you want to impress. Don't do that. Keep being yourself, and then the right people will come around. I promise. And yeah, that's all I have for that, and that was a bit of the motivation at the end of the video, but some other motivation I have is, what did you accomplish today? Or what are you accomplishing if it's during the day right now for you? What are you proud of? I will stop talking for a minute, so if you would like to, you can take this time to think, and if you would like to, you can even just talk out loud in response. I did some thinking of myself just now. That's why I stayed completely silent. So, if you shared, that was nice. I'm proud of you. If you need, I'm pretty sure you needed to hear that. Everyone would always needs to hear that. Well, not needs to, but it's always nice to hear that someone's proud of you, because I'm proud of you. And while I was silent there, I was thinking about what I accomplished today. And, well, I didn't do too much today. I did write a bit more of my story. I've been writing more projects, and there's other projects I'm working on too. So I've been working on that, and I've been working on other content for my main channel. So, yeah. And not big accomplishments, but I'm still proud of it. Yeah. So, and before we close off today's video, what is something that you've done that's been your highlight? I guess that's similar to the accomplishment, but just in general, what's the highlight of today? Just something that you're just happy that happened, you know? I will take the next couple seconds to let you think while I do the same. Did you share? If so, I wish I could hear it. But if you would like to, please share in the comments. I want to hear. I want to know. For me, my highlight of today was I went out shopping for groceries. Not an incredible thing, but I got to get out of the house, and I got to go out for a nice walk. The weather was not too bad, so it was nice. It was a nice walk today. Yeah, and I got to do something incredibly productive. So, yeah, it was a bit of a rough walk home with all those heavy groceries, but I managed, since the grocery store isn't too far from me. But, yeah. That was my small highlight. And again, if you would like to share, please feel free to in the comments below. And if you have any topics you would like me to discuss, leave suggestions for that too. Now that's going to be it for me. Have a great night, or a great rest of your day. And thank you for stopping by. Goodbye.